Good evening, happy Thursday, and welcome back to our next installment of our virtual Dominion Energy Jazz Cafe. Tonight, on the stage with me, we welcome two birds, one stone. We saw Mike Hawkins last week. We're delighted to have him here again for an evening with Mr. Ken of jazz-inspired rhythm and blues.
Down, 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 down. Yeah, she's down. Down, 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 down. I got my head out the window and my baby on. Four chords. Well, it's early in the morning and I can't get it right. I had a little date with my baby last night. It's early in the morning. Ooh, in the morning. It's early in the morning and I ain't got nothing but them blues. Well, I went to all the places where we used to go. I went to your house. You don't live there no more. It's early in the morning. Ooh, in the morning. Yes, it's early in the morning and I ain't got nothing but them blues. Well, I went to your girlfriend's house, but she was out. I knocked 3 times on the door, she began to shout. She said it's early in the morning. Ooh, in the morning. Well, it's early in the morning and I ain't got nothing but them blues. Go on, Lucy. Well, I had a lot of money when I started out. I couldn't find my baby, now my money's run out. It's early in the morning. Ooh, in the morning. Well, it's early in the morning and I ain't got nothing but them blues. So people get ready, there's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to keep that diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, baby. You just to get on board. Go on, Lucy. Get ready for that train to Jordan. Picking the passengers across two coasts. Faith is that key, so open the doors and board them. There ain't no room at all amongst the mud. Walk on. For the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances are thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the kingdom's throne. Walk on, people, get ready. People, get ready. You don't need no ticket. You're just a thing along. Thank you, Lord. Woo. We're gonna mess with the kid. 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's this here going all around town? They tell the people gonna put the kid down. Hold on, man, look at what you did. Oh, you can call it what you want, but I call it messing with. You know the kid is hot and that kid don't play. He said what he mean and he mean what he say. Hold on, look at what you did. Oh, you can call it what you want, but I call it messing with. Go on. It comes as a gift. I work for my money in in an 8-hour shift. Hold on. Man, look at what you did. Oh, you can call it what you want, but I call it messing with her. You gonna take the kid's car and drive around town and tell everybody gonna put the kid down. Hold on. Look at what you did. You can call it what you want, but I call it messing with her. Fun stuff. All right. I got a black one. I got it. I got a black magic woman. I got a black magic woman. I got a black magic woman. She's got me so blind I can't see. Like the black magic woman, she's trying to make a devil out of me. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't turn your back on me, baby. I'm through with your tricks. Don't turn your back on me, baby. You pick up magic still. Come on, let's see. Spell on me, baby. You got your spell on me, baby. You got your spell on me, baby. Turning my heart to stone. I need you so bad, black magic woman. Won't you leave me alone? She acting strange on lately, you trying to drive my love away. I'm cutting out, baby. Girl, I'm moving up the line. If I stay another day, girl, you're gonna make me lose my mind. You took me far from home and I was nothing but a child. You made all kinds of promises, but it was just a little jive. I'm cutting out, baby. Girl, I'm moving up the line. If I stay another day, girl, you're gonna make me lose my mind. Station, I'm all packed to go. There ain't no use in worrying, cause I won't be back no more. Girl, I'm cutting out, baby. Oh, I'm moving up the line. If I stay another day, girl, you gon' make me lose my mind. If I stay another day, girl, you gon' make me lose my mind. If I stay another day, girl, ooh, you're gonna make me lose my mind. Todd Woodson on the drums, Lucy Kilpatrick on the piano, Michael Hawkins on the bass. Woo. What a great band. My girl alone. Hell, I'm so sorry. I've got to leave my girl alone. She got a cross-eyed cat living at home without a man. Every time I see my lady, he's in the corner growling or laying down. Every time I see my lady, he's in the corner growling or laying down. He's too big to be a house cat, too small to be a lion. Go on, Lily. he starts jumping wall to wall. Every time I stop my baby's house, you know he's jumping wall to wall. He's looking cross-eyed at me, sit back in the corner licking his paw.
Ken, I forgot earlier to ask you, when are you going to play your first thing in the set? And I didn't ask you, but if I don't stop you now, I'm never going to talk to you.
Right.
I am partying tonight. Thank you so much. Yeah. Two birds, one stone.
Good.
Every musician behind you and you yourself.
Yeah.
Bring me joy week to weekend tonight.
That's nice to hear.
Let's take a break and have a chat.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
Come on. Well, Ken Kellner, what a treat the first half of tonight has been, and the second half I know will be just as good, if not even more.
That's very nice of you to say. Thank you, Robert.
We've been chatting a little bit tonight off camera, and before we get into our on-camera conversation, here's your opportunity to introduce yourself to my audience in your words.
Okay. My name is Ken Kellner, and I am a Richmonder. I'm married to a Richmonder. I'm originally from New York. Long Island, Stony Brook, Long Island, 516, and North Shore of Long Island, and across the Sound, the Long Island Sound, is Connecticut, and that's where I went to the University of Bridgeport. That's where I met in 1988 my future wife, Jocelyn Bandis, and immediately she invited me down to Richmond. And I loved Richmond. And after that, I moved around the country. I lived in South Florida, got a history degree in Florida Atlantic University. I feel like I'm at a job interview. I can garnish references for you if you'd like. I really need this job. No.
I think you got the job.
Thank you so much. Moved out to San Francisco. Lived out there for 10 years with my Richmond girlfriend. We married, had a child, and moved back to Richmond. So that's what I'm doing here, and I've been here since 2003. And really just played music my whole life, but just started to get into the Richmond music scene about 5 years ago. And what you heard tonight is the culmination of that connection I have to the Richmond scene. All of the players, Lucy Kilpatrick on piano, Todd Woodson on drums, Michael Hawkins on bass, are all three musicians I've met independently playing small gigs. I'm a very busy musician. I play everywhere, wineries and breweries and restaurants and private parties and restaurants, everywhere. Did I say restaurants twice? Anyway.
How many times you need. Before we get into more, you mentioned just a bit ago that you studied history.
Yeah.
What brought you to music after studying history?
Okay, so I've always loved music, and I didn't want to make it my career because I wanted to keep it precious, like a love, and not commodify it into a career. So I thought, gee, what can I do? And I love to teach, and I come from a family of teachers. So when I was a kid, I loved Welcome Back, Carter. I thought the idea of just like telling jokes to a bunch of kids in a history high school class was my idea of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, everybody has their own.
All right. So it turns out it was actually very serious work, and I enjoyed it. And I taught history for years all around in San Francisco and in Richmond, and then recently switched to teaching music, elementary school music. I'm an elementary school music teacher at Barack Obama Elementary School. Go Stars! Love Barack Obama Elementary School. Love the staff there. They're wonderful, inspiring people. And so I've been teaching elementary school music for the last 6 years, and now it's online for now.
I taught middle school and high school music.
Where?
Not anywhere near here. I was in Massachusetts.
Okay.
But now I do this. I was not a bad teacher, but I found it wasn't my calling.
It's got to be a calling.
Yeah.
You know, it really does. Otherwise, what are you doing up there in front of kids? Unless you love that experience. And it's a very specific, niched experience to be in front of children in a classroom, working with them like that. It's very intense.
The greatest thing I got out of my teaching experience was respect and admiration for teachers. It's a tough job. Thank you all for what you have done and what you're currently doing. Let's get back to Mr. Ken and his music. I want to go back just briefly to before you become a history teacher. Where does the music come from? Where does it start with you?
All right, so yeah, music is like an obsession, compulsive disorder for me. You know, it's almost like food in a way. Like I can't picture life without music. Right when I wake up in the morning, before I go to bed, I mean, I'm just, you know, my wife is very fully aware of just, you know, the other woman, which is music. And so music is a very jealous affair, because if you ignore it at all, it really, you know, you have to keep on it. And anyway, so it just comes from my childhood. My older brother played music, and whatever my older brother did, I had to do. So, and then I have an uncle, Uncle Lenny, Boca Raton, Florida. He was a big inspiration for me growing up, because he was a musician. And so I looked up to my brother, I looked up to Uncle Lenny, I looked up to my sister, who was very musical, and just loved music, and made a decision when I was very young that I just wanted to play music for the rest of my life. I figured this is something I can grow old doing. I could be 95 years old and pick up a guitar and play. So I just love it. It just immediately connected with me. It's never been an issue. It's never been like, should I do it or not? It was just, it made complete sense to me. I'm very lucky to have that.
Tell me about what you went through when you decided that you were going to make music your life. I mean, you started this career with history, with teaching, with education, and now suddenly here you are, someone I've never seen perform, and I can't wait to see perform again, and you're teaching the next generations of performers. What was it like to make
It's
that
very
transition?
good. It's like, as the Hindus would say, it's like connecting with your dharma, like marrying your personal love and passion to the work you need to do in the world. So in my general philosophy on life is that the world is a broken place, and it is up to individuals to decide whether they're going to fix it, and they can fix it in the way that they choose, and the way they choose should be an inner voice that tells them, that propels them to work on a craft. Work on a craft, get good at it, help people with it. Money will flow your way, success will flow your way if you align your craft with your mission, and your mission should be helping the world become a little more sane.
I love that.
So it makes sense. It made sense to me. When I lined all those things up, it felt really good, and I only hope that more people can adopt a philosophy like that, because then we can all help each other get through these crazy times.
I love that. That's one of the more beautiful philosophies that have been presented to me. You now possess this philosophy. You have a great skill and a great talent, and you've got family that leads you there. How, as a musician now, do you build your shows? Do you work with your musicians? Do you experience a love for this craft?
That's a great question. Good questions. It's about repertoire choice. It's about what songs to do. I mean, when it all boils down to it, you know, I don't want to make this more complicated than it has to be. I'm presenting songs. Yeah. So what songs can I connect? First of all, I have to connect to the song. What's the point of playing a song unless I connect to it? But, and there are so many great songs to connect to in every genre, from country to jazz to blues to polka to klezmer to classical music, opera. I mean, there's just so much great music out there, and it's a shame that I only have one life to give to, you know, to repertoire choice. So it's about repertoire choice, and repertoire choice really boils down to which musicians can you get, or do you want to be a solo musician, which I do. I play solo, but ultimately, that's in there. The solo act is one thing, and then there's a full ensemble. And so what musicians can I get? And I'm very lucky to have Lucy and Todd and Michael Hawkins, because they can play everything and anything.
Yeah,
they're just encyclopedias, so I could choose anything and they could do it. So they look at me and say, all right, Ken, what songs are you going to play? And I decided to just pick some what I call like low-hanging delicious fruit. Which is rhythm and blues. You know, I mean, it's dance music, and it's just from the heart. It's not really from the head. It's heartful music, written by people who were sincere about what they were writing. So, from, you know, Burt Bacharach to Muddy Waters, you know, it's quite a range, but, you know, just enjoy the music, pick good songs. I'm always thinking about the audience. I'm also thinking about rhythms and grooves. Each song should sort of like reflect a different groove. Ultimately, though, I mean, to be honest, what you're hearing here tonight is I want it to be dance music. Yeah. I know there's not a lot of that going on right now, but I want people to get up out of their chairs and move to the music. And that's the goal of this particular ensemble. And just one last final thing about this group. As I was saying, I've played with each one of these musicians individually for lots of little gigs. But it was during the pandemic that we assembled this group. And we decided to play every Tuesday since May or June.
Really?
We've played every Tuesday at the Nutty Buttery. Shout out to Nutty Buttery, 701 West Clay Street.
Yeah, Jamil Jaycee's been trying to get me there for months.
Oh yeah, we'll be there tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. According to this recording date, and Charlene, the owner, is wonderful, and she has created a great environment for musicians and artists and poets and people and food. And so we play there every Tuesday. We were playing out on the sidewalk, and it was this sort of spacious sidewalk, and it was very COVID friendly, very safe. And now that the weather's getting colder, we're starting to experiment with going inside, but we all wear our masks. It's not as fun, obviously. And she's getting some heaters, and we'll go out. And so please come on down to 701 West Clay Street. Come visit the Nutty Buttery and see us on a Tuesday, or come on any night. I know every other Friday, Lady E, the great Duchess of the Blues, plays there. And so big shout out to Lady E. She is a huge inspiration to me. She's wonderful.
She is. I'm sure all of you know how wonderful she is.
She's a part of that.
So I know that tonight we've already experienced, we're going to continue experiencing songs that you've decided to play.
Yeah.
But have been improvising all
Yes.
along.
Yes.
Tell me about how you grapple with that. Since the beginning of this series, we've been talking about jazz and how improvisation is a big part of it. I want to know how you grapple with that, and then I want to learn about how you grapple with jazz interacting with R&B and funk and rock and roll as we're experiencing tonight.
Okay, great question. You definitely deserve this job.
Well, thank
you. This band does not rehearse. We've never rehearsed. The idea of rehearsing is just an anathema to us. We would just, it never happens, and we don't, and I pick songs that we don't need to rehearse. So they're interpretive songs, and that's what rhythm and blues and jazz have in common. There is a general structure to the song, but it is given that you will infuse your own feeling into that song, how you feel that night. And that's pretty much a full stop on that, unless I didn't answer that. You just you infuse your feeling that you have that day into the music. We're not quite sure how it's going to end, so we look around, we look at each other. You might see some social cues when you watch the performance. So it's really exciting and nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking, totally.
What I love most about improvisation, I've said it a few times, and I'm going to teach a class on it next year, is that it's not new, it's not unique to jazz. We've been improvising as musicians all along. We called it ornaments, or we called it an upper neighbor, or we called it something else. But improvisation lives with this art form. It breathes in this art form.
And we are improvising right now.
Yeah, we sure are. We don't
There's
play
no
on
script
this.
here, but we have a general idea of what we want to do.
Right. We're going to have to come to a close with our conversation soon, but I do want to touch on the way art in general, music in general, tonight jazz translates into other new and then developing forms of music. Funk, R&B, rock and roll, we're grappling with tonight. Those did not exist until jazz. How do you bring all of those things together to create the art we're experiencing tonight?
I mean, that's a tough question. If I think I understand how you're phrasing it, how did I bring together the different elements that you heard?
No, more how do you feel they relate? This is a jazz program tonight. I'm delighted to be experiencing the R&B and the funk and the elements of rock I'm experiencing as you're playing. How to you do those remind you of jazz, live with jazz, come from jazz?
Well, I'm a little stumped. I mean, because I don't know exactly how to enter into that question with a coherent answer, except for that. I mean, are you pointing at something? Are you saying that? Are you asking me to explain why it doesn't sound like jazz?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm remembering Leonard Bernstein. Leaving the world of classical music and experimenting with other things he's hearing. And West Side Story is the culmination of that. Stephen Sondheim and him get together. He takes the elements of jazz, blends them with his classical music, strong, serious music, as we call it in my world, gives us West Side Story, and is criticized for it for leaving serious music. Here you are, taking the unserious music and showing us more of it.
I see.
And I want you to know what your brain thinks about that.
Well, look, I think I'm starting to understand. I'm getting some clarity. I want to make it clear that the musicians you're hearing tonight are capable of playing any type of music. And we have played, for the Jazz Historical Society, we have played traditional jazz. So the thing I would like you to keep in mind is that tonight you're hearing a repertoire choice, a choice of a collection of songs based on what has worked for us, what works for us. We could have played 300 other different songs. There's just a huge body of jazz standards to work with. I just have always had a personal love and passion for that old school rhythm and blues, that sort of barbecue, cold beer, barbecue, juke joint, you know.
A little Richard.
Yeah, howling and stomping your foot and joyful expressions of bright moments.
We can't go any further. Yeah, said the magic words. Those bright moments make our lives a joy and a delight, and you're doing that for us tonight. Ken, your BJ, we need Ken back, please. Thank you so much for the conversation tonight. Thank you for the music.
Oh my gosh, this has been such a pleasure.
Thank you for the company.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun.
If you don't mind, I think my audience could use a little bit more music.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
From the very first time I blessed my eyes on you, girl, my heart said follow through. But I know now that I'm way down on your line. But the waiting feeling's fine. So don't treat me like a puppet on a string, 'cause I know how to do my thing. And don't talk to me, 'cause if you think I'm dumb, I want to know when you gonna come. Y'all see, I don't want to wait in vain for your love. I don't want to wait in vain for your love. I don't want to wait in vain for your love. Because summer is here and I'm still waiting there. Winter is here and I'm still waiting. They're gonna see knocking on your door, and I still can't knock some more. Ooh, girl, is it feasible? I want to know now if I should knock some more. Yeah, I see in life, there is lots of grief, but your love is my relief. Tears in my eyes burn, tears in my eyes burn, while I'm waiting for my turn. Yeah, I see, I don't want to wait then for your love. I don't want to wait then for your love. No, I don't want to wait in vain. No, I don't want to wait in vain. It's me love that you're running from. It's your love that I'm waiting on. It's me love that you're running from. It's me love that you're waiting on. No, I don't wanna wait in vain. No, I don't wanna wait in vain. No, okay, I'm better now. Spanish Harlem, there's a rose. There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. It is a special one, it's never seen the sun. It only comes out when the moon is on the run and all the stars are gleaming. It's growing in the street, right up through the concrete, but soft and sweet. And there is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. With eyes as black as coal that looks down in my soul and starts a fire there, and then I lose control. I have to beg your pardon. I'm going to pick that rose and watch her as she grows in my garden. There is a rose in Spanish Harlem. Rose up in Spanish Harlem. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, baby. Not for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross. Hear me, Lord, till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs is love. Oh yeah, not just for some, but for everyone. Another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you really need to know Father, there's too many of you dying. You know we are got to find a way to bring back some loving here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. Oh, you see, war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring back some love here today. With some picket lines, picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Oh, talk to me so we can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? some loving here today. Picket signs, oh, picket signs, picket lines, don't punish me with brutality. Just talk to me so we can see what's going on. great band. Todd Woodson on drums, Michael Hawkins on the bass, and the great Lucy Kilpatrick on the piano. Wonderful.
Oh, man. Okay. That was great, man. I was sitting there mystified myself. I'd say sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, had I a microphone in my hand, I'd have been in this show. This was a joy and a delight.
Oh, thank you.
I really wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it.
Oh, appreciate it. On behalf of the band, we appreciate that. Thank you.
To those of you at home, I know you danced because we always do. If you didn't, it's not too late. Push play again, and then push it again. Tell your friends and your family where they can find the party online and love with you too. And on that note, you know what I'm going to say? Thank you for loving with us. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for learning from us. And so from the Leslie Cheek Theater at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, with support from the Richmond Jazz Society, this has been our virtual Dominion Energy Jazz Cafe. I'm Robert Fennard. Good night.